You got muted for some reason.
Well, hey kids, welcome back to another Park Streamers Hangout. We are glad you're going to join us tonight, and we have a packed show for you tonight, and we're going to be going over lots of Halloween and some possible interesting Disney news coming for next year, as well as wrapping up and getting ready to say our goodbyes to Magic Happens. So let's get started by introducing the incredible panel we have here. We're going to start right down below me with Cordy in California. Cordy, would you let everybody know where they can find you?
Hi, yes, hello everyone. Cordy in California on YouTube.
Oh,
Is it me or I can't hear?
I can't hear you, Cordy.
I'm not muted.
There we go.
Okay. So Cordy in California, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
And on X, Cordy in Cali.
I know.
Oh, we're just keeping that one under wraps then. Okay, no more with X. All right, we also have the one and only Barry Place 28, Mr. Bob. Would you let everybody know where they can find you on social media?
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us tonight. Yep, you can find me at Barry Place 28 on YouTube, X, Instagram, and TikTok now. So feel free to join me on any of those channels.
All right, thanks, Bob. And we have our resident, I don't want to call him a newbie with the live stream, but he is an excellent photographer and videographer of the Disney parks. It is none other than Steve, Adventures in the Park. Would you let everybody know where they can find you?
Adventures in the Park on all platforms except for Facebook and X. So Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
All right. So we're going to jump right into our first topic. And last week, me and Bob covered our thoughts on Scary Farm, but we didn't get to hear what Cordy has to say about it. This is her first time going to Knott's Scary Farm, and she's been able to go a couple of times now. So let me turn it over to you, Cordy. Why don't you go ahead and give us your thoughts as to how you viewed Scary Farm?
Okay, sure. Hopefully I don't freeze. I was pleasantly, oops, let's see. There we go. I was pleasantly surprised. The first night was pretty scary for me, but I think once I went through it once, I was able to, then I knew what was coming. But super impressed by the scare actors, the performers I saw one show that night. I've now seen a second one, so I need one more, I think, or a couple more. But yeah, it pretty much blew me away, though. The whole thing was awesome.
Okay, and you got to go to the preview event where
yes.
You got to walk through one of the mazes with the lights on, so you kind of had a little bit of an idea as to what to expect. But then once you have all the show lighting on, things really change. How different was it from that first preview event to actually going to the event? How much of a difference would you say it was for you?
Oh gosh. So I actually didn't make it into Origins when I went for the opening night. So I saw the walkthrough with the lights on, but I didn't get to see it afterwards until just last week. But yeah, huge difference, because I thought, oh gosh, that was really scary. And then come opening night, I'm like, oh, okay, this is the real thing.
Yeah. All right, and I think you have a video of some of the highlights. Let's go ahead and cue that up, and you can kind of walk us through some of the things that you enjoyed or maybe didn't like.
Yeah, this I just put, it's just a quick little few pieces of the night. I couldn't get to the front, plus I don't know if I wanted to be at the front. So we were kind of off. I guess it turns out that's the exit for the hanging show. I was kind of in that little cove. And but the nice surprise was I got to at least see the Sarah Marshall, right, the witch on the rooftop there. So that was kind of cool. And then just some other pieces. I was there with Christina Holmes, and we went to the room 13 first. I don't know if we just started walking and ended up there. It was partially that and partially like I knew that was a new one. So I thought, oh, maybe we should go there first. Right. Probably get really busy. And then it's a blur in a way. So it's almost like having my video to rewatch. It helps because I feel like it took a while for me to kind of like put it all together in my mind. Right. What I just saw.
Right, just to get your bearings. Yeah, because it can be kind of disorienting when you go to Scary Farm if you're not ready for what is about to happen.
Yes.
Go ahead and play the video, Bob, and we'll kind of let Cordy walk us through it.
So this was us just not knowing what to expect. And then we saw this. Okay. And I knew the Sarah Marshall from you guys. But otherwise I shall cast a new curse for all to pay.
Hey, we got a password here or what? You know what? I feel nice tonight. That'll work. Get out.
And just the fun like that, like interactive. Awesome. And this is just the opening. It's just kind of an opening scene, but that we had there was another actor who was talking to us throughout the line, right? He would just come and interact. And then when we got there, and I don't think quick enough to like, what do I say to this guy? So I'm like, that's why the
I'm the same way. I'm awkward as all heck in front of the scare actors and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, we can just, it's just a quick, I think a couple of clips that scared the heck out of me. Oh, she jumped a little. So cool though. This part, I hated this part. They were everywhere. They were everywhere. And I'm like, how am I supposed to get out if you stand there? I mean, it was awesome, but I was like, I don't know what to do. Am I supposed to stand here? And then they're like, go.
That was funny.
But yeah, I think this was a good one to start with. Now, once I went through the other ones, I was happy I started with this one because I feel like I haven't gone back to this one again, but I feel like it was the tamest, I guess, of all of the ones that I went in, right? So I don't know if that's how you guys feel, but how do I leave?
Hey, you're being requested. Oh shoot! Here we go. Christina's going first again.
My bodyguard. She was smiling. And it's so disorienting because the things are hanging and then people pop up and I'm like, wait. Whoa! And they're screaming and I'm screaming. That one was pretty cool. Oh, and then this was crazy. It was in the Gauntlet area, right? Where Snoopy is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of. I just froze when this guy started talking.
Where's your money?
Where's my money? I gotta pay the jester.
I have no money. I'm
so much
sorry.
debt.
Oh no.
I lost my cattle. I don't know what to do. They took my baby. I don't know what to do. This is what they tell me to do every day just because of people like you that don't give me money to pay jesters.
I would give it to you if I had it.
Next time you come in here, you better have a shilling. Or I'm gonna rip your face off just like the executioners did to me.
What? Where's
That was
everybody?
pretty good.
That was a good one. Yeah, so those were just a few little things. I mean, I went in a few mazes that night, but that one, and then Brian Sevilla was there. He's like, "Wow, you got like really good interaction with him." But yeah, that's just it's. I wanted to show that just because I was like, they're so immersed in like the characters, and I just thought that was really cool, and like, I don't know, just to see that, like, it just seems like a very professional, like actors, like it, I think you're first. It was just such a, like, the performances were just awesome all around.
Yeah, I think they've done a fantastic job with that. I have to go back through the gauntlet because the on opening night there was very little fog in there, and I thought that was what was missing, that it needed to be a little bit more creepy. But I've been having fun with the scare zones. I think that is actually my favorite part of Scary Farm. The scare zones have just been fantastic for me with the costumes and just the interaction with the scare actors, especially in the Goring 20s. I don't know. Did you get to see when they have the band playing over there, Cordy?
I did not get to see that yet.
Oh yeah,
not live.
Yeah, that part is
on you
hilarious.
guys'
It's just crazy fun. They just everybody's dancing. The monsters are pulling people in to dance with them and do all kinds of crazy stuff. It's really fun. It feels like a massive party over there. So definitely you got to go back and check that one out. So,
Yes.
but we also have Bob, who went to another Halloween offering in Southern California, and that's at San Diego's SeaWorld, and they have Howl-O-Scream there. What's that like,
Yep.
Bob?
So Howl-O-Scream is actually, so I should go back. This is the third year they're actually having Howl-O-Scream, and my family and I are platinum pass holders, so we get free tickets every year. But unfortunately, because San Diego is kind of far, we just really haven't had the time or made the time to do it over the last couple of years. So we decided this year we're going to do it, and we thought that it might be a little downscaled compared to Not Scary Farm or HHN. So we thought maybe we'll take Ariel because she also gets a free ticket for being a platinum pass holder. So we decided to go down there, and it's the park was open till 8, and they let you get into the Howl-O-Scream as early as 6. However, I'm not so sure that was such a great idea because we got there, I think, about 6:10, and we entered, and they basically corral you into this big area, and you can't go anywhere. So there's a couple mazes nearby, but they're closed up. They had a stage, and they only had really 2 shows. The Ceremony, which is in the beginning, which really wasn't too much. It was basically like a jester on stage with a couple of female clowns, and then after he's done, everyone's free to roam the park. And then they had a show, which I'm going to show you guys in a little bit, called Call the Sirens, and that's it. The show, that's it they did for shows. So there's not a whole lot there. The other thing is that there's not a lot of scare zones. They had like 5 scare zones, 5 mazes, 5 vignettes, vignettes, meaning they have people doing magic tricks, or if you were watching my stream, you saw there was a guy who came by and said, "Hey, can you feel this nail?" And that's real. And I said, "Yep." And then he, nailed it right into his nose. So then I was like, "Ooh, someone give me a disinfecting wipe." But so those are kind of cool. The vignettes. They also had a fortune teller that was really cool. In each of the zones, though, they actually had some sort of theme, whether it was a nautical theme or if it was a doll theme. The dolls were kind of cool. But the thing is, the scare zones weren't very big. I mean, the doll zone is really just, oh, geez, it might have been like maybe 100 feet in diameter. It's really small, not a whole lot there. And the dolls, walk around talking to people. And they did a great job, each of the different, dolls. But in the nautical area where they had the sirens, you had a few scare actors that were just they were going beyond where they were supposed to go for their scare zones, but it was fun. They would go into the lines for the rides, or they would, go near the restrooms or something like that. But they were out and about. And then you had other scare actors that were just like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll go over here and try to scare some people." And they didn't look like they were really interested or into it. I will say that as far as the mazes go, I think they did a great job of actually, like the facades and everything looked great. Everything, production value looked nice. Was it as on par with Not Scary Farm or HHN? No, but they did a pretty good job. Okay. I mean, the mazes did look scary, and they did look really, really cool. They had a Deathwater Bayou that also had like the lasers on the ground, and they also had some alligators that would pop up and get you, kind of like you see those popping spiders from time to time at people's homes or at the different Halloween stores. Well, they had alligators, and those were kind of cool that they were popping up to get you. But there weren't a lot of scare actors in the scare zones or the mazes, and that's the biggest disappointment. The other thing is, because they only have 5 mazes and 5 scare zones, my stream was basically like, I think it was like 2.5 hours long. Let's see here. Yeah, it was 2.5 hours long, and I covered all of the mazes twice on my stream and went through the scare zones several times before I ended it. So now, granted, I did have the Fear Pass. I bought that for my family so that we could get through the mazes and then go on the rides later. They only had 3 of the rides open, by the way. That was Electric Eel, Emperor, and Arctic Rescue, but you can go on those as many times as you wanted with the unlimited pass that I bought. However, it's only on one side of the park. So basically everything from, I would say, the far side of the park, over by Wild Arctic and Atlantis and the Penguins, that's pretty much where everything is. So that was it. So let me show you what I mean by the shows. They only had the 2 shows, Scaramony, and they had the other show that was a dance show. And I'm going to show that to you real quick. So let me bring that up for everyone. Okay, great. So this is what happened for this show.
I can see 3 pirates on the ocean. They are bounding for you. I can see 3 pirates on the ocean. The first one lost his mind. The second lost his sense. The third one will show no remorse.
I'm up on a string, Tracy Island, time traveling diamond, could have seen heartache. The come to find you for him so velvet morning. It's too late. She's a silver lining, Lone Ranger riding through an open space. In my mind, when she's not right there beside me, I go crazy. She's I wanna be. satisfaction feels like a distant memory, and I can't help myself alive. What I ever say is, are you mine? Are you mine? Are you I guess what I'm trying to say is I need the deep end, keep imagining meeting wished away. Entire lifetimes unfair when not someone misbehaving for days, great escape, lost track of time and space. She's a silver lining, climbing on my desire, and I'm going crazy. Here is where I wanna be. That satisfaction feels like a distant memory, and I can't help myself alive. What I ever say is, are you mine? Are you mine? Are you Never felt the chase, moves in mysterious way. So in case I'm mistaken, I just wanna hear you say you love me, baby, are you mine? She's a silver lining, Lone Ranger riding through an open space. In my mind, when she's not right there beside me, I'm going crazy. 'Cause here is where I wanna be. And satisfaction feels like a distant memory, and I can't help myself alright. What I ever say is, are you mine? Are you mine?
And that was it. Now they're gonna go into their zombie-like mode again as they leave the stage, grabbing their lanterns like they're, possessed or something. But that was the show. It was like, oh, okay. It was one dance number, and it was a long dance number, obviously, and they did a great job of dancing. I was just a little disappointed because I was like, oh, that's it. I thought they were gonna do some more things. I thought it was gonna be a bigger show,
story or something.
Right. Now, there were sirens. There were some really, evil-looking mermaids that were, actually behind where the stage was, and they would pose and shriek and do things like that, and try to scare people. But they didn't. They weren't really, really scary. And supposedly, they're the ones that possess them and get them on stage. I guess that was a story, but not much to it. I really thought there was going to be a lot more, and then I was like, wow, that's it. We had the ceremony, we had that, and that played every hour, and that was it. I was like, oh, okay. So don't get me wrong, at least for taking my daughter, someone who's younger, she liked it. She got a little scared. She had a lot of fun. It was her first Halloween haunt, but for me and my wife, who are, veterans with Halloween, horror nights and Not Scary Farm, et cetera, we were like, okay, it was kind of cool, but it was for free. It was great. Now, I will tell you, and I want to share this with you real quick, because they do have, and let me bring up the page. Give me 1 second. Why is it not? Sorry, give me 1 second here. There we go. Okay, so this is the Howl-O-Scream page. They're having a flash sale through Friday the 13th. So this Friday, tickets are as low as $39.99, and you can actually go. Now, for $39.99, I would probably, you could definitely buy a ticket for that. Anything more than that, I don't know if it's really worth going to, just because there's only 5 mazes, 5 scare zones, and unless you want to stand in some long lines for some of the rides, they weren't super long. I want to say they were anywhere from 15 minutes to 40 minutes. The one that was longest, obviously, was Arctic Rescue. I could have stayed there a lot longer, but I think after 2.5 hours of going through all the mazes twice, plus the scare zones, and then we spent about an hour going on rides because we had the Fear Pass. Obviously, we got on them pretty quickly. My family was kind of like, okay, it's kind of get late. It's like 11 o'clock. Let's go ahead and leave. So we basically spent about really 4 hours there, and then we left. So it's not obviously as grand as Not Scary Farm or as HHN, but it was, for a first time going there, I think it was cool. I've seen videos of Howl-O-Scream over in SeaWorld Orlando, and I think it's a little better. I think the production value is a lot better, and there's more that they offer there. But I'm hoping that as Howl-O-Scream continues in San Diego, they'll improve upon it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it's. I mean, for us, it'd be a little bit of a distance as well, so you've got that to factor in. So
right,
but yeah, I mean, $40 for a haunt of that size plus the coasters, I think that's probably a pretty good value. But I do want to go back to Cordy. I forgot to ask you. I wanted to find out, have you done all of the mazes at Not Scary Farm in your trips, or is there still mazes that you have to see?
Now I have, and I have to say, I want to do it again, but I felt like, oh gosh, what's the one with where the waterfall is?
Oh, the Chilling Chambers.
No, Grimoire.
Yeah.
Oh, Grimoire, that one. Oh,
that
sorry,
one?
the other waterfall.
I think so. I went through that one for the first time last week. That one, I was like, I really like this. It was like the sounds, because you're walking through, and it was almost like building, like your heart's racing, because you're like, oh my gosh, it was like this build up. I really liked that one. I really liked it.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. I was going to say, which one was your favorite, or maybe what would you classify as your top 3?
That one, I think after that night, that was my choice, because at first I thought maybe the cinema slashers, because just because I liked, right, because I like horror movies, so I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. It is very cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The second time I went through it, I'm like, it's good, but it wasn't my favorite anymore.
Okay.
What? I can't talk to you anymore.
I know. Is that your favorite?
Yeah. Well, of the new mazes, it's definitely my favorite. So yeah.
Maybe, and it depends too, because I feel like the first time I went through the Chilling Chambers, it was at the very end of the night, and there weren't a lot of scare actors.
Okay.
At that time, for some reason, like I felt like I was waiting, looking for, oh, I'm like, oh, there's no one really in here compared to what I saw in the other ones. And then when I went to it again, I went earlier in the night, and there were more. So I got more of the more of that feel.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say you didn't like that scene with the elephants.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I went last night to Scary Farm, and the depths it seemed like all the effects were working perfectly. And I was just like, this is my favorite maze. It is that one just, I'm so disappointed that it's the last year. I'm going to have to go back a few more times just to walk through the depths one more time at least. So,
yeah, that was cool too.
But yeah, Grimoire's a good one too. I like that one.
The one thing I will say though, and we were talking about this 2 weeks ago, is that we were kind of disappointed. Danny and I were talking about how there wasn't a lot of fog in the scare zones, or seemed to be, not a lot of atmosphere or scariness to it. And it seems like the Gauntlet, Forsaken Lake, it all got much more fog. They already had a lot of scare actors, but it got spookier. So I think they've improved upon it. I don't know if they were like, oh, we didn't have time to put everything up for the first 2 weeks, and now we have. But I'm glad that they finally have more things going.
With the Gauntlet, it's a new scare zone, so maybe they were letting everybody get familiar with the area, so they didn't have it too, difficult to see in there. But I've always said that with Scary Farm, it takes a couple weeks for all the scare actors to get in the zone, to like start understanding, you know, their area, what they're the feel for the crowds and everything again. So I think right now we're probably, like I was saying last night, I think we're in the sweet spot now for the scares. So I think we probably have like 2 more weekends, and then as you get closer to Halloween, it starts to get to where they're just exhausted and they're like, okay, we've been doing this for a month now, and they're just, you know, they're tired. A lot of them, you know, if it's their first year, sometimes they'll quit because it's just like, I can't put on that makeup again and get stuck in that room with all the, you know, the fog and so they end up, you know, there's some attrition with the scare actors, so it ends up being, you know, there's fewer. So I would say, you know, these next 2 weekends would be the weekends you want to go to Scary Farm, definitely, because you're going to have the best scares going on, because the actors are going to be in the zone. They're going to be familiar with what they want to do and how they get their scares, and you're just going to have a good time. And like last night, I thought the scare zones were popping off amazingly. They were doing such a great job. And, you know, I had some people in the chat saying, where are the scare actors? Where are the scare actors? And, you know, you'd wait a few seconds, and then next thing you know, there'd be like a swarm of like 6 or 7 of them that would be like roaming through the crowd. The screams are going nuts and people are crazy everywhere. And I was like, that's where they are. They're roaming around together, you know, on those suspecting people. So
absolutely.
Steve, when are you going to join us at Scary Farm?
Yeah.
When's hell gonna freeze over?
Well, that happens at Scary Farm. You just have to go.
Wait a second. There is a reason to go to Scary Farm, but
oh no.
Oh, Steve, don't go there.
There's an idea. Okay, I'm buying the $99 pass. And I'm going to go to Scary Farm for one purpose. It's an inside joke, everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it inside, shall we?
Let's not go there.
All right. Speaking of family friendly, we're gonna move on to our next topic, which is the kind of a sudden and unexpected discounted ticket for Disneyland coming up for early next year. It is the kids special ticket offer. So for children ages 3 to 9, they're doing a special Disneyland Resort theme park ticket for as low as $50 per child, with the purchase of a special 1-day 1-park ticket. Okay, so, and you still need park reservations for this. And so it says, make 2024 your happiest time by visiting a Disneyland Resort theme park. Enjoy some favorite attractions and enchanting experiences. Take advantage of the special limited time offer. Then choose when to visit from January 8th through March 10th, subject to theme park reservation availability.
Of course.
Of course. But it doesn't appear that there are any blackout days in that time period. So you can go weekends, holidays. It's completely open from January through March 10th, which is that kind of lull in between the Christmas season and spring break getting ramped up. So, and then it says park hopper ticket and multi-day ticket upgrades and Genie Plus service can be added for additional fees. Other than that, it doesn't seem like there's very many restrictions other than the park reservations, which let me see where it says tickets are non-refundable. Activities offer may not be combined, subject to restrictions. Sales can be paused or terminated at any time. So if this is something that you would like to get in on, you may want to do it sooner rather than later, because if it starts selling like gangbusters, they may pause it and discontinue the offer at any time. So, here's the line that I wanted to make sure we read. Theme park reservations for kids special ticket offer holders are limited in number and subject to the availability of park reservations allocated to the kids special ticket offer as determined by Disney and theme park capacity. So that's the verbiage that they have to put in now based on that class action lawsuit.
Yes.
For the Magic Keys. But here's what I would like to hear from you guys. When I heard about this, instantly I started thinking, is Disney sensing some rough times up ahead? are they seeing some, decrease in hotel stays? So, what are your thoughts? Why do you think that they're kind of randomly having this kids ticket offer all of a sudden?
I think that could be, I mean, we've seen like it's been really, really busy the last couple of weeks, right? And hopefully I'm not frozen. And it's families. Like I've seen a lot of families, but of course we know they're looking in the future and what's booked, I could see that because I think it's a combination of, I don't know. You hear a lot of feedback, right? Just waiting in line and hearing people's conversations. So I think possibly there's also that maybe we'll go somewhere else for the next vacation, right? You come back, you're so happy to come back to Disneyland, and you're like, maybe it was a little bit of a bummer for one reason or another. And it's kind of my thoughts.
Well, it seems to me too that they're hitting this right after the holidays, right? And they're doing it right up through just before spring break. So it seems to me that they're trying to capture that section of time where people are like, well, I already went to Disneyland during the holidays, I don't need to go again. Oh, they got this great ticket deal. Okay, maybe I will buy it. And they're trying to spur the sales of sales they might not get from people because they already went to the park. But notice it goes right up just before spring break, and then obviously it stops on March 10th. So it does seem like they're trying to anticipate or trying to keep some sales going through January through March. Obviously, for those who are pass holders, it's not really a deal for us because we already have passes. But for the families that don't, this is a great deal to bring your children. But it could be too because Disney hasn't been doing very well stock wise, so maybe they're trying to see what they can do to spur sales and get people to come out. I don't think they have a problem with having people come out in the holidays, and it's pretty evident right now, at least at Disneyland, that the parks are packed. I mean, look at Sunday. Sunday was just, me, Cordy, and Adventures of Park can tell you it was packed, busy, hot, and a lot of people still going. It's almost like it's summertime still.
Yeah, Steve, do you have any thoughts about that?
Well, I can tell you that rough times aren't ahead. They're right now. As an IT engineer, I could tell you that their website had emergency maintenance on Saturday. They can't get a handle on their password management. I was in Toontown and overheard guests really complaining because Mickey's Runaway Railway and the Cartoon Spin didn't open until almost after lunch. So they had some power issue or something. And guests were complaining. The cast members were saying it was a rough day in Toontown. But yes, it is packed. I mean, I rope dropped, and by the time I could get to Haunted Mansion, it was 80 minutes. The Rise line was to Frontierland.
Oh,
I've never
wow.
seen it that long. So they're overwhelmed, but I see, and also if you stream in the park, they claim to be an AT&T partner, but signals are getting hammered.
Well,
and it's partly because of the crowds. I mean, only so many people could go on the tower because that's what I kind of do as infrastructure engineer. But they're getting hammered.
Well, I wanted to bring up, so a couple weeks ago, Donnieland, who's a good friend of ours and a friend to our channels, he actually mentioned that I guess one of the cell towers for AT&T went down, and so it's being repaired, and it's going to take several weeks to get back up. So that could be one of the issues that they're having, for signals in the park. But they were also having just outages with I think power outages because several rides were down when Ariel and I went to GCA and Disneyland on Sunday. So
Yeah,
I think they were just getting hit hard by a lot of things.
I could confirm that they had a cell tower down because my infrastructure engineer cell friends, I could call them and they could ping the towers with the software. And there was definitely a tower down near or around Disneyland. So
That's interesting because Friday I had a rough first half of my stream. It was like almost anywhere I went, I was having signal issues. But I'm on Verizon, so that's not surprising.
Well, we're talking about AT&T.
Yeah.
I mean, the only guaranteed signal area is Galaxy's Edge, because there is a tower right over the fence. And in Avengers Campus, there's a tower right over that fence. I was streaming in DCA yesterday when I met up with Bob, and I was getting killed. And I finally just cut the stream and left DCA.
Wow.
So yeah, there's definitely rough times not ahead. They're happening right now.
Okay.
So, a lot of rides now.
And I just pulled up pricing for regular tickets if you wanted to just purchase a ticket. These are the adult tickets for ages 10 plus. On Saturday, January 13th, it's $159.
On a Wednesday?
On a Saturday.
Wow.
Oh, on a Saturday one.
Saturday.
Still.
So let me.
Wow.
And
See,
so,
that would
but
be a
here's the
little
thing.
hard.
Here's the thing. I was like, those are the adult tickets. Let me check the children's prices. It's the same price for ages 3 to 9. $169 or let me say $159 on that Saturday. So with that children's ticket price, you're saving more than $100 per child when you go on those days. That's how much Disney is discounting this.
So they're dropping prices back to the 1980s.
Practically. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, they were doing the 3-park ticket deal last year, where you purchase 3 individual 1-day 1-park tickets, and I think it came out to about like $83 per ticket. But that's still only half the price of a regular ticket. This is 1/3 the price of a regular ticket for the kids, of course. So
it was a good deal for kids.
Yeah.
So all they need is a children's magic key, and we'll be all set.
Oh my God.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah. So that's just some interesting news. And it's not to say that Disney is feeling this, in a vacuum, because everybody's feeling this. The economy is kind of, everybody's feeling food prices, gas prices right now. So it's no surprise that, an entertainment company is trying to, entice people to spend a little bit, throw a little bit their way. So they just give a little bit of a discount just to entice people in. So I think we're probably going to be seeing a lot of that from the various entertainment venues, that there will be, discounting happening, probably pretty much everywhere. I mean, we see the flash sale that SeaWorld is doing for their Howl-O-Scream. So it's not a Disney centric.
HHN is not doing any discounts.
Yeah, they don't need to do it. In fact, they need to raise their prices and try to calm those people down, because they're going nuts.
I will tell you, they're getting a lot of bad publicity. You see it all over, social media, and people are ripping HHN because the lines are just way too long. They're overcrowded, and a lot of people are upset. And so I think that may affect them, for next year. I mean, people know what to expect that have been, and I love HHN, but I swore, several years ago, I would never go back unless, I was able to get a pass to go through, because it's just, but also that's super expensive, like $350 just to go for one night for one person. Oh, geez. Woof.
Yeah, that's a heck of a price.
Yeah, we're supposed to go. Oldest is coming into town, so we're supposed to go Thursday, but they want to go to HHN. That's because of the types of mazes. But I was thinking about it. I'm like, or you want to just come down here,
right?
And we go to Knott.
Hey, this is interesting. So Donnyland just posted in the chat here. We tried to upgrade our passes today at the park, and we weren't able to.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I thought they were letting people upgrade their passes.
All passes are on hold right now. Nope, all passes are on hold, and it's renew only.
Well, I thought with renewal they would still let you do that. Wow, that's horrible. Sorry about that, Donnyland and Jen. It's Crochet.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer for me, because I was thinking of upgrading. So if they don't change in the next month and a half or so, I'm gonna have to stick with my Believe key, or basically opt out.
But don't opt out, man. We won't see any live
We'll
streams.
see. We'll see how things go.
Oh boy.
So let's shift over to a happier topic, and one that's I'd say a little more colorful than what we've been dealing with. Our good friend Steve here, Adventures in the Park, was at Disneyland. Was it yesterday that you were taking all these pictures?
Yep, I did them all in one take.
One take. So one performance of magic happens, and he had literally well over 100 photos. You said?
Yeah, we're not going to look at that many. So
I think we got about 19 to look at.
The first thing I'd like to say is Disney cast members are the best. I spent, while I was waiting an hour for Mickey and Minnie's that never opened up, I got to play ring toss with the cast members, Goofy and Pete. And it's in my live stream, and I won, by the way. I got 3 dead center.
Nice. So you actually got to play ring toss with the characters, not just the cast members.
That's right. 2 characters and the cast members.
Was it the ring toss, or are they playing cornhole? They were playing all sorts of games at many of
they put up some kind of a thing where you threw the rings.
Oh, that's cool.
While we were waiting, because I told them I wasn't moving until they opened the ride.
Yeah.
So in going yesterday, I thought, okay, how many more times could I see live streams of the parade? I saw 3 just tonight. So I thought, why don't I do something different? Why don't I do some stills? So my background is I used to do professional sports photography for a very long time. And I was contract with Sports Illustrated, the Dodgers, the Angels, the Rams, Hallmark cards, so forth. So stills is what I grew up on. So I scoped out an area pretty much for a couple of hours and found this spot that I got to almost an hour and a half early. And I said, why don't I shoot some stills? I did the same thing for the electrical parade before they canceled it. So keep in mind, these are all shot on a cell phone. I sat there and handheld it with the rest of the tourists. They had no idea what I was doing. And you're going to see the results. So I'm not going to explain every shot. I spruced them up a little bit in the AI and the machine learning for the phone. But my point will be is, photography-wise, you don't have to go out and buy a $5,000 digital camera. You can use an iPhone 7 and take the same pictures. So just keep that in mind. So go ahead, Bob.
You did this with an iPhone 7?
I didn't shoot these with an iPhone 7, but I have.
Okay. Just want to make sure that everybody understands.
It's not the camera, it's the photographer.
Right.
Right.
So
what did you shoot these with? Your Pro Max?
I shot with my Google Pixel, which is probably the best still cell phone camera in the world to take still pictures with, because its machine learning and the AI is second to none. But they don't take too good of videos. The iPhone is still king for videos. And I have them all. I have an S23 Ultra. I have the Google Pixel. I have a bunch of iPhones. I had 6 phones with me yesterday when I was going to film this. So we'll let Bob roll through these. I'm not going to explain them, but I did touch them up a little bit to make them a little interesting, other than just the same thing over and over.
I love the portrait views. They are great.
Oh, that wasn't from the parade. That was kind of pre-parade. But anyways, that's good.
That one too. That one's in the parade?
That one. That was just an extra one.
Sorry, you threw all these in, so I included all of them. So we're going to look at, parade. Here we go. Back to the parade. I love that one, a mini.
So here's a minis, and all you do is you, again, the machine learning and the AI on the Pixel is so good. With just a touch of the button, you could throw the background completely out of focus. Normally, you can't do that on a phone. You'd have to have a digital camera and then shoot wide open, and then that will throw out the background to do the same thing, similar. Now, there's kind of an interesting take. If you go back, Bob, I did a couple of these where I made part of it black and white and part of it color.
Yeah.
I thought that would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I definitely like those too. I'll get a Coco.
This is probably my favorite one that I worked on. And keep in mind, I did all of these like 4 or 5 hours ago. So I didn't have to fire up Photoshop. I did them all through the phone. I have been using Photoshop for like 20 years, so I'm pretty conversant in Photoshop, but I did them all on the phone. So my point is you don't need to buy expensive equipment and have a Photoshop subscription. You can just take out any phone and you can do this pretty much.
Right. Frozen.
Yeah, this has to be one of my favorite characters. He wasn't the guy I like the most who really goes kind of crazy. He
Merlin,
throws
yes.
his legs up.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got one cast member that
he
is the absolute best. He throws his legs up. He jumps up.
Yeah.
You can see his red shorts underneath his skirt there. He is like the most
TMI there.
He was there tonight. I saw that on someone's stream, but he wasn't there yesterday. There's another one I like. That's probably my favorite shot from yesterday. So if you just look at these and think, okay, I was sitting in front of the train station, but I picked out my spot way ahead. Like, oh, this isn't part of that. That was after.
Yeah, that was after. Sorry.
So you think, where's all the people? Why isn't the backgrounds cluttered? Because another feature is they have what's called Magic Eraser, and you can just erase all of it out.
Right.
That's how good that the cell phones are getting.
Yeah.
So
very cool. Well, you have some amazing photos, and I love them. I think they turned out great.
Thanks. I'm going to be posting them the rest of this week on Instagram. I don't usually post stills on Instagram. Instagram is all about reels, but there are a few people that post stills, so I'm going to post these the rest of the week. So, I mean, if anybody has any questions, you can just put it in Cordy's chat that I'm looking at, or Bob's chat, or Danny's chat.
Well, if you're following Adventures in the Park, you definitely want to make sure you go to his Instagram page and like all these photos. They're amazing.
Yeah. I'm not much for live streaming. I have been live streaming more, but my roots still take me back to vlogs. And now that I did these yesterday, they came out, in my opinion, so good. I want to do more stills, but for social media, TikTok, you can't use stills pretty much. Those are kind of worthless on TikTok. So I may post some of these just for the heck of it to see what happens.
But you could string a couple of them, together and create a reel out of them. But
yeah,
it's not the same as a video. But
any questions from Cordy, Bob, or Danny?
No, well, if you're using an iPhone, I'd have some questions, but you're using the Pixel, so I don't have a Google phone.
I could get these same results from an iPhone exactly, but I'd have to work on them in Photoshop because, again, the video on an iPhone is unmatched. They still are on top, but they sort of lack in stills, and then you'd have to work on them in Photoshop to get this kind of sky and background stuff. You're not going to get that straight out of the phone. Even on my Samsung S23, I can't get this straight out of the phone. So yeah, I got them all, so I can tell you which phones do the best for which things. So
well, I'm gonna have to hang with you next time I go to do some awesome photography at the theme parks.
Well, you were there yesterday streaming.
No, I know, but hang with you and be with you while you're shooting.
I didn't tell anybody that I was going to shoot these stills. I mean, Cordy was literally above where I was standing. Yeah, I was just sitting down by the fire station stand sign.
Oh, is that where you were?
Yeah.
I thought you said you were over by the train station.
Yeah.
The fire engine loading
After
area.
scoping out, my favorite place used to be by Small World. But for these particular shots, I needed to be right there because it was more of a head-on with a lot less distraction. And photography is just all about the surroundings. What are you visually seeing? So I got there plenty early and kind of like imagined what the parade floats would look like. And I just plopped myself down at 5:10 and sat there talking to the other guests that were tourists. And speaking of price, I was talking to this one guest that came out with his wife and daughter. They were right next to me. He was there for 4 days. He was from Arizona. And speaking of price tickets, park tickets, he said that his trip with a hotel cost him 5 G's.
Wow.
5 G's for Disneyland to come from Arizona, get a hotel for 4 days, and tickets, and food, gifts, and Lightning Lane was 5 G's.
Yeah, I don't know if I could
crazy.
spend that kind of money on a
And you wonder
4-day
why
trip.
Cordy and I aren't going to Disney World?
Yeah.
I already priced that out, and a week there is more than 5 G's.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, probably was
know,
Grand Californian.
And well, I think I've gone this year, my pass renewed. I think I went this year about 58 times. And when you calculate that out with parking, it's less than $5 a trip.
Nice.
So I can't read that.
Oh, hey. Oh, it said, which hotel? The Grand Californian?
No, they weren't at the
Howl-O-Scream.
Grand Californian. They were just at I think they were at the HJ, the Howard Johnson, just down the street.
Really?
What? Howard
I stayed
Johnson?
I stayed at the Grand Californian, and while it's nice to roll out and go in Grizzly right when it opens. Probably not worth them. I've stayed there twice, and I've stayed at Paradise Pier when I was doing all the half marathons. The start line was always in front of Paradise Pier at the time, so I would always stay there, and that's nothing special either. So just tips.
Look, I know these are not photos of the parade, but I wanted to show these because I think these other two photos of the submarine at night.
This is why
amazing.
I actually stayed at night. I told Cordy when we met up, I said, I need to get to Submarine Lagoon. And so I went over and I always bail before the parade starts because I don't want to deal with all that. So again, this looks like it was taken, this shot, with say a 135 or 200 millimeters, and then you get that compression. You just throw the aperture wide open, and then you focus on the subject, and it'll compress the background. And I did this on the Pixel in literally 15 or 20 seconds.
Amazing.
So, again, the phones are getting, or actually are, better than some of the cameras. At least some of my old cameras from my sports days. I mean, I have old 8 megapixel digital SLRs. They're pretty worthless now, and they were very expensive at the time. And that's why I don't want to like buy any more SLRs, because you'll spend $5,000 for a digital SLR or mirrorless, and in 2 years it's going to be obsolete.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, those are awesome pictures. Really.
They are.
So,
I think that's all I have.
I was going to say, what's really cool about the pictures is you were able to catch them with Magic Happens at this time of year where it's starting to, be just slightly past dusk when the parade comes out. So the lights and everything take effect, and you get that. It's a whole different parade when it's slightly dark out.
It's much better with the lighting. And the only one I think that I wasn't happy with was the Mickey float, because he had a light shining on his face. What I would do for these shots is I'd wait until some of those spotlights went off, and then I'd click it. And Mickey had this white light on his face, and I said, I'm not going to be able to fix that no matter what I do. I did shoot it. I have them, but I'm not going to post them probably. Yep. My biggest issue with this whole thing was the birds in the background. I swear, when the 6:30 comes, the crows come out, and they're flying everywhere. And I had to magically erase them out of almost every single shot. If you looked at anybody's live streams for Main Street at a 6:30 parade, you'll see tons of crows. And they, like I said, they were in almost every shot, but all I did was just tapped on it and hit the magic eraser button.
Yeah, so there's definitely what we call crow o'clock at Disneyland every evening.
Crow o'clock.
And it is it's quite a show.
One more thing about the parade. So during the week, Monday through Thursday, my understanding is now there's only one parade that starts at Small World. It ends at the train station. But on the weekend, they're still doing the 2 parades.
And it
Yeah,
ends.
I heard somebody
Sunday.
saying that. What was that?
Oh, it ends this Sunday, October 15th.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing, right. And so this is the other reason I wanted to shoot it. Like I said, I did the same thing for the electrical parade. Where's Hope? I have electrical parade pictures. So I'll probably go Saturday, and I'll shoot it one more time. I want to have a lot of footage and stills from the parade. So, I mean, I was really surprised myself that I got as many satisfying shots that I did, but I want to shoot it one more time this Saturday.
So I actually did not know that this Sunday is the end of the parade. I thought it was going to run through Halloween at least.
No, I heard it was supposed to end the middle of October, but I think Cordy confirmed that it's.
Yeah.
Okay.
After the 15th, there's no more. I had already heard that. And then I was checking today, and after the 15th, there's no scheduled.
Wow.
Wow.
What are all the
Right.
what are all the live streamers going to do after it ends? I mean, literally, I saw 3 tonight, every day. I think I've seen the parade not in person, but on streams probably 100 times.
Next is
And-
Holiday Parade.
So,
Well,
so
you know, like
is it only
that's
playing once during the week
right?
right now?
Yes,
Yeah, and then twice on the weekends.
right. So through Friday, it's only the 6:30 parade, which is the better parade right now anyway, because
Right.
just that dusky look, like Danny says, is like really cool. So there's a lot to work with if you're doing still photography at that time of the day.
Yeah.
If you just shoot it at noon or 3, all you have is bright sun. That's it. So there's not a whole lot you can do with that kind of picture. Whereas the ones that I took, being dusk and dark, I was able to like mix in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Bob's thinking right now, what day is he going to go to shoot the parade? I can
So
see
I'll be there on Friday, so I'll be shooting the parade on Friday.
And I bet you'll be at the same spot, huh?
I don't know. I haven't decided exactly where I want to be. I was thinking to be up at the workstations up at It's a Small World, so that it's a little bit darker, even get just another 10, 15 minutes of sundown. So I may do It's a Small World, but I have to make sure that I've got decent signal at the time. So.
Oh, you're gonna live stream it. Well, if you just shot stills, you wouldn't have to worry about live streaming it.
Well, I do both, because while I've got the live stream going, I have my other phone and I'm doing either catching shorts or doing other photos.
Well,
Yeah, we
I'm
all
disappointed.
use a couple of phones, but for this, I wanted to focus on stills. So I literally put everything away, no gimbal, no tripod, no nothing, and just held it in my hands.
Nice.
Well, I'm disappointed to hear that Sunday is the last day for it. That's a bummer. I was hoping it was going to go out a little bit longer until the holidays, but hopefully it'll come back next year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll come back, because it is a popular parade, and parades are expensive to redo. And this was its first year back, its first full season. So
what do they do between now and the Christmas parade? Nothing.
Well,
Probably nothing.
last year they did the cavalcade. We haven't had a Halloween cavalcade this year yet, so I don't know if that's what they're going to fill the time with until November 10th, when the
yeah, November 10th is kickoff for Christmas season. Yeah, they got to do something, because I mean the crowds are still here, and the parades are a great way to let people kind of have that time to sort of have that midday relax, where you stop for half an hour and you either sit or stand or just kind of stop with the go. And like I said, it's still a popular parade, and it is like the first full season that it's ever had, because it debuted in 2020 for about 13 days, I think it was. And then everything had to shut down, and they finally brought it back earlier this year.
So Bianca said, so basically less entertainment, LOL.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's why they lowered the kids' ticket price. Less entertainment.
right.
Yeah, but that doesn't go into effect until January. So
Right.
That's
January
okay.
8th.
They're gonna give a free bubble wand with every child admitted.
just to
I'm
make
fine
you
with that.
mad.
I like the bubbles.
I do too.
I know,
Steve
Steve.
hates it.
I do too. It's awesome.
You don't want
What's
me
wrong,
comment-
Steve?
You don't want me commenting on that.
Too funny.
Danny, you forgot to tell everybody that Knott's through the end of October is $99.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. If you guys are looking for a deal for a theme park season pass, currently, is it all the way through October?
Yeah, I got
October
the email.
31st.
October 31st.
October 31st, you can get a Knott's Berry Farm season pass that is valid from the day you purchase it through the end of 2024. So
Right.
not
Now,
only do you
when-
get all of 2024 as your season pass, but you get the rest of 2023.
Now,
And
when
that
does
goes
that
for
special,
any
when does that
add-ons
special
you have
show run till? When does that special stage show go through?
till October 31st.
31st. Okay.
But you have to put it on
And-
Berry Farm. That's a separate ticket.
Yeah, it's a separate ticket. So if you
Oh,
get
that's
the
right.
Knott's Berry Farm pass, it does not include
Yes.
admission to Scary Farm. So that's a separate.
And remember, if you want the
Ooh.
ticket to Soak City, it's $125 for the pass. So because my family and I love going to the water park as well as the theme park. And remember too, if you happen to buy like the front line pass, that also is good for the rest of this year into the end of 2024 if you're able to scrape up some money for that as well. So
Yeah, any add-ons that you put on your season pass, like the all-season dining, all-season drink plan, parking, all of that is in effect from the day you purchase all the way through to the end of 2024. So it's an incredible deal.
Cordy and I were talking about Disneyland having a food plan, but we thought it might be more than our Inspire key.
Yeah, they would be like we were talking about that because yesterday I took a friend of mine to Knott's Berry Farm for the first time in like 30 years. It was his first time back, and he got the all-day dining plan, so you can eat every 90 minutes. You can go to one of the fast food restaurants and get a meal. And somebody mentioned that the dining plan, like when you purchase it for Disney World, like on a vacation package, it's like $90 a day per person for the dining plan.
yeah, and it's limited to where you can go and what kind of food you can get too. So
Yeah, usually it's like 2 meals and then a snack or something like that per
Right.
day. And they're charging $70 to $90 per day.
Knott's is a deal, everyone. Take advantage of it.
Yep. And if you see us in the parks, come and say hi.
I
Yeah,
heard
please
about
do.
Becky last night, Theme Park Casual. Becky was saying that she made a little cameo on your.
Yeah,
last
I don't think I had ever seen her in my chat, and she was like, "I'm in line for the mine ride," and then I happened to be watching one of the shows, and she says, "I'm right near you. I've got the pink shirt and a red cup," and it was so dark I couldn't tell what anything was. But then after the show, she came over and said hi. I was able to give her a sticker and everything, so it was fun. And we love. I don't know about you guys. I love it when people come up and say hi. Especially if it's somebody that we've known in the chat. That is my favorite, to be able to say hi, put a face to the name. So
I know I had that happen at Not Scary Farm the other night. It was awesome.
yeah. So
And I had CL and Slim Devin 99 at Disneyland last night.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, nice to meet you, CL. Yeah, we all went out and had dinner and dessert, and then I left them to go shoot the lagoon. And
Well,
I guess the best time to go on rides is what Cordy does, just stay until 2 a.m. because it's like nobody's there going on rides. But I can tell you, rope drop where I used to be able to ride 10 rides before like 9:30. Now I'm lucky if I get in 3.
yeah, but part of that is because they're breaking down so much. So
Right.
Yeah, when I was eating lunch, Radiator Springs was down for 2 hours, right, Bob?
yes, it was crazy.
Yeah, and the line was like 3 hours.
And I got to meet Christina Holmes too last Thursday, so that was cool too. So it was nice meeting you, Christina. And anytime you guys are out in the parks, please let us know. I'd love to hang out with you. Oops, sorry, I clicked on that memory plans. But just like Donnyland, I got to meet him and Jen's Crochet out in the park. Love meeting everyone. Love passing out stickers and swag. So please come visit us and say hi if you're in the parks.
All right. Is there anything else anybody would like to talk about? Any other topics that are just...
Do you want to ask and see if anyone in the chat has any questions for us about the topics we talked about tonight, or anything else that we can answer?
Do a question and answers. Yeah, it's only 9:15 local time, so you guys usually go till about 10. And after 2 hours of this, I'm usually dozing off.
Are you saying you're falling asleep?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So yeah, anybody out there, anybody watching, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. We'd be happy to answer them right now. We got a few minutes where we can take some viewer questions.
Yeah,
and it can be pretty much anything. It doesn't have to be.
Cordy can do her review on the bacon Western cheeseburger from
oh yeah,
Hungry Bear.
We try. Okay, so last night was. Wait, are we frozen? Last night was so busy. We went. It was the first time we got turned away from Carnation, so they were not taking walk-ups.
Yeah, I wanted Carnation.
We went to Cafe Orleans, nothing there. Riverbell Terrace, nothing there. So we ended up at Hungry Bear. So I tried, that bacon I call it bacon Western cheeseburger because that's what it is. But it was good. Although I think there was a lot going on because I think by the time when I got in the car to leave, you guys probably heard me. I was like, oh, I don't know. My tummy's kind of but it tasted good at the time. And then we shared, thank you, CL, for thinking of that. We shared the pumpkin funnel cake because it has the ice cream on it. But I don't like funnel cake, but this one, that one was good. That was a good one.
So we did get a couple questions. So Alan's asking us, best tasting desserts. I'm not sure if he's talking about Disneyland or not, but what is your guys' best tasting dessert?
Oh gosh, that's easy. Just go over to DCA to Ghirardelli's and have anything they have.
That is true. That is true.
Ice cream is always good, but I still need to try it. But they have creme brulee at Cafe Orleans, and creme brulee is my favorite dessert of any dessert. So I need to go try that sometime.
Hey, we got another.
So,
sorry.
Oh,
there.
For Knott's, right? The disabled parking. I don't believe it's all one parking pass. Yeah.
Yeah, they charge for disabled parking.
They do. Really? Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm. But if you have a parking pass,
as far as I know, they charge for disabled parking.
Yeah, great question though, John. Thanks for asking that.
But I mean, if you have a pass, they have parking, correct? If you have like a parking pass.
Yeah, they have a parking pass.
Oh, yeah.
And it's $85 for the year. And it would include disabled parking.
All right. And Judy asked the same question there. Daryl, let's see. What do you think about the Disneyland expansion news? Well, I mean, we kind of talked about it. Well, we didn't talk about it on this channel so much. Theme Park Casual and I had an opportunity to actually go to the Disneyland Forward event that they had with the OC Forum, and we talked about it on another channel called Orange Grove 55. I think, the news of the expansion and what they're trying to do, it's great. Hopefully they'll be able to, get the permits they need to reorganize and do what they want. Obviously, this is over the next, 20 to 40 years that they're planning all this stuff. So nothing's going to happen overnight. But hopefully they'll start, getting the permits they need to, do what they want and build some of these, new areas. That'd be great.
Yeah, I think we're going to see infrastructure first, so they'll have another parking structure built, and then they'll have, different things, but they'll try to, I'm sure, snap up, a little bit more land if they can, and then they'll get the roads and everything like that in place for what they have in store, and then we'll start to see, the really cool stuff, the expansion of the parks, or possibly, even a third park if that's in the cards.
I only need one thing. Tear down the Paradise Pier Hotel and build Tron. We can have it in 2 years.
Wow. Don't think that's going to happen.
Save me a trip to Disney World.
Man, They
So-
just give us the Avengers thing they were supposed to give us. I'd take that.
They did. They gave us
Yeah.
the gift shop.
No.
Yeah.
The ride, the attraction, Steve. Come on. So
That-
Bianca is asking, are you guys liking the new holiday merch they're rolling out?
I went through there last night. The ears are kind of. I don't like the ears. They're like
Wow.
that leather or something, but they're just kind of. They're kind of. The
Yeah,
spirit
I haven't
jersey and the
been
lounge
to-
flag.
Oh, Cordy, we can't hear you.
The
There we go.
the lounge fly and the spirit jersey are. It's cute. I like the the characters that are on there and the design, but the ears just look like. I don't know if they meant to do that, like craft. Like you crafted
Mm.
them. Kind
Mhm.
of.
They look a little too crafty.
Yeah, yeah.
Cheese crafty. Oh, sorry, wrong thing. You know what? I mean, I like some of the stuff I'm seeing, but I almost feel like, hey, we're in Halloween right now. I'm not ready for all the Christmas merch. I kind of wish they would, waited a little bit longer to bring out some of this stuff for the holidays. But I mean, Ariel was loving it on Sunday. Everywhere we went, she was like, "Oh, look at this and look at that." And I'm like, I know, but I still want to, and I know we've all seen the Halloween merch and the Oogie Boogie, Bash merch and stuff like that. So it's old news for us, but I guess I'm not ready for the holidays just yet. I could have waited another week or two.
Holidays overlap so weirdly nowadays, it seems. So,
Well,
I know.
Costco already has Christmas. They've had it for what, 2 or 3 weeks now. I'm like, what?
yeah.
Let me get through Halloween.
And they do have one brought up about the Mickey toy soldier. That looks really
Oh.
cute. The popcorn
Mhm.
bucket. That's pretty cute.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm ready for Christmas
I
too.
think Donnie Land had a question.
Oh, let's see. How much are those NBF passes you were talking about, parking blackout dates?
Knott's Berry Farm passes are currently $99 for the 2024 season, but it includes the rest of 2023. Parking is an additional $85, and it is tied to a single pass. So, Donnyland, if you get it and you put it on your pass, you can use it, but no one else can use the parking.
No blackout dates.
And 0 blackout days. But Knott's Berry Farm does close for inclement weather. So, not that you
Yeah,
want to go
that's
when
one
it's,
thing. It's a
that
bummer.
rainy, but they do close.
And they close early, right? Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of days that they may close at 5.
Yeah,
or
there's also that. There's a lot of dates. When it's off season, they'll be closing at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. So
Yeah, and you forgot one thing, that you can't take your cameras almost on any ride.
true.
Sure.
Yeah. If you're doing it for live streaming, you better be willing to walk around and just kind of show the place off rather than ride any rides, because you can only get on the 3 train rides that they have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is
Good
such
question,
a bummer,
Donnie.
'cause I'd really like to be able to go on the log ride at the very least.
Oh, I know. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, that
Although,
could be
I
our
don't know if I
Splash
wanna get my-
Mountain until Tiana's opens up.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think somebody was talking about if you just the presence, right? Like with Not Scary Farm, I'm really happy that we're able to. Oh, am I frozen?
No, we
Or
can
no?
hear you.
No. Good.
I'm really glad that they're allowing live streaming and gimbals, whatever in the mazes, because I think it's really good exposure for them, and just hoping I get the safety thing. I'm sure that's probably the main reason is safety, but yeah, it would be nice to have a little more leeway on some of those
Yeah.
rides.
So Mermaid Plants is asking, what do we think about the Haunted Mansion queue area?
The queue side, I have to see it, just because I thought they were just adding on to what they have, but from what I understand now, they are eliminating the switchbacks and everything right there. So I don't know how that's going to work, because they do have the one exit there down near at the tombs. So I don't know if that's getting rerouted, or they're going to just reconstruct that whole area and kind of regrade it a little bit. But until I see exactly what they're doing, I can't give it a thumbs up or thumbs down necessarily for me.
I just want to call out Jada because she said that I was busting out the Beastie Boys.
I did Beastie Boys on my Autopia karaoke.
Oh, which song did you do?
Yes.
For Tomorrowland, of course, I did Intergalactic.
Ah.
Oh, with the curse words or the explicit or no? I'm kidding.
No, that was not.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Let's see. Yeah, so Donnyland was asking again. So you can stream anywhere in the park, but just not on the rides. That's correct. You can go on the trains, the Calico Mine Ride, the Snoopy train, the regular Rio Grande train, but you just can't stream on any other rides in the park. So,
well, Magic Mountain's worse. You can't even take a gimbal in there.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah, geez,
Yeah.
they're nuts.
Yeah,
you can take your phone in.
I think they want you to take a phone in there. I should test it
No,
out.
you can take your-
I'm
you can take
close
your
to
phone
Magic
in.
Mountain.
Yeah, you can take your phone in. Just it's the gimbal they don't want.
Remember, I did that 30-minute. I walked from Goliath out to the parking lot and back with my phone, just holding it like this.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's crazy.
Let's see. Do we have any other questions? Let's see.
Yeah, we got some live streams to get back to tonight. Come on.
Yeah.
All right.
There's at
I
least
think
4
that's about
people
it.
live streaming right now at Disneyland.
All right, kids.
Really?
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We had some fun talking about some stuff. We finally got to hear what Cordy thought of Knott Scary Farm, and apparently she'll be coming back several times more this season for Scary Farm. So if you're out in the fog and you happen to catch her there, by all means, try to scare her.
Yeah.
All right, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap up tonight, guys. We're gonna go ahead and let the panel know, let you guys know where you can find them. So, Cordy, would you mind telling everybody again where they can find you on social media?
Of course, Cordy in California on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And then what was my X one again? TPC?
Cordy in Cali.
You don't remember your own ex?
No.
Okay.
That's why we're here. We help each other out.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you.
All righty. Barry Place 28. Bob, let everybody know where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me at Barry Place 28 on Instagram, YouTube, X, and now TikTok. So please join me on my channels, everyone.
And finally, down in the corner with the fabulous photos, we have Adventures in the Park. Steve, let everybody know where they can find you and see those incredible photos.
You can find me at Disneyland this weekend at 6 a.m.
Parking structure, the very furthest right lane, waiting to get in. First car.
Crazy.
Or something like that.
Yeah. All right.
And what about
we're
you,
gonna
Theme
end
Park
it-
Casual?
What's that?
Didn't you say where did you already say where you can find you?
Oh, no. I am Theme Park Casual. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, or X, and Instagram, all of them, Theme Park Casual. So with that, we will say thank you once again, kids. And actually, wait, we didn't say when we're all going to be back at the park. Steve is going to be back there this Saturday. Barry Place, when's your next live stream coming up?
Wednesday or Thursday. I haven't decided yet, so hang tight there. But if you're following me and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell, you will see when I'm going live. But hopefully
Hey, Bob.
one of those days or both. Yes.
Bob, why don't you post what Jetta just put up?
Let's put. You can find me in the club. That one. Funny.
Or the bear den.
Oh no! Don't
brother.
start that.
All right, we're going to move on. Cordy, when's your next live stream?
I will be at Disneyland tomorrow. You'll find me there tomorrow.
All righty. And I will be back at Disneyland this Friday night doing the typical Magic Happens live stream to start it. So until then, kids, we will see you somewhere in the parks or in the chat. So everybody, have a great night.
Good night,
Good night,
everyone.
everyone.